Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and today we're going to be speaking on the Northern Kingdom and where they went, because some people refer to them as the lost tribes of Israel. But through the book, we know where they went, what happened to them, and where they went. And that was they came to the Americas. And so we're going to look at that today within the scriptures. This is 2 Kings 17, and we're going to start at 1. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord Yahweh, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. So he submitted to Shalmaneser. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. And Samaria is where the northern kingdom resided. And to siege a land is to cut it off, and so that people can't get in and out to bring goods in and out. So it's just a form of warfare. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Syria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah and in harbor by the river of Gozan, and in the city of the Medes. So he took them away into captivity. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord Yahweh their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt, and had feared other gods, and walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord Yahweh cast out from before the children of Israel, and the kings of Israel which they had made. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord Yahweh their power, and they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. So they were practicing idolatry and were setting up these idols in high places and worshiping them. Verse 11, and there they brought burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Lord Yahweh carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord Yahweh to anger. For they served idols, whereof the Lord Yahweh had said unto them, Ye shall not do this thing. Yet the Lord Yahweh testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, Turn ye from your evil ways, and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophet. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers. They did not believe in the Lord Yahweh their power. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord Yahweh had charged them, that they should not do like them. And they left all the commandments of the Lord Yahweh their power, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the host of heaven, and served Baal. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord Yahweh, to provoke him to anger. They were being straight up heathens, practicing witchcraft. Therefore, the Lord Yahweh was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. So that's why they went into captivity. We're going to skip down to 23. Until the Lord Yahweh removed Israel out of his sight. And when it's saying Israel, it's speaking of the northern kingdom there. As he had said by all his servants, the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. So he moved in other people after Salmanassar took away the northern kingdom. He moved in other people who were not Israelites into Samaria. And so this is where you get the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman at the well, who Yahushua spoke to, and she thought she was a part of the covenant, but she was really just a heathen that was moved in. Verse 25. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not the Lord Yahweh. Therefore the Lord Yahweh sent lions among them, which slew some of them, because they weren't keeping the ways of the Lord. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the power of the land. Therefore he sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the power of the land. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom you brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let them teach them the manner of the power of the land. And so that's why the woman at the well, she was saying her fathers had been in that land for a long time, and that they were keeping the commandments and the ways. She's only saying that because they were taught by priests so that they wouldn't get eaten up by lions, and so the land didn't spew them out. But that didn't make her an Israelite. She was still a heathen by blood, which is why Yahushua denied her and told her that salvation is of the Jews, that the day was coming when she would not worship in that mountain or any other, because the true believers would worship in spirit and truth, because salvation is of the Jews. But this first part in 2 Kings 17, that's going into where the northern kingdom was taken away into captivity under Salmanassar, Salakia. And then this, I'm going to skip down a bit, because the first part is 2nd Esdras. We're in 2nd Esdras 13, and the first part of it goes into the return of Yahushua, and on that great mountain that he's going to be riding on, and the battle that ensues. So that's all prophecy. But then down here at the bottom, it's going back into the past, back into history. And this is 2nd Esdras 13 and 40. Those are the 10 tribes, as in the northern kingdom, which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth. Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. And so, this is showing that the northern kingdom left from Assyria, took the Euphrates, and came into a land called Arsareth, which I believe that the meaning of it, Arsareth, just means another land, which I was looking up earlier and found this from the Jewish Encyclopedia on Arsareth, which I found interesting. We're just going to read this first part. And it says, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel, the northern kingdom, will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of the restoration, according to, and it says it's 4th Esdras here, 13 and 45, which Columbus identified America with this land. See, Kasserling's Christopher Columbus, translated by Dr. C. Gross, page 15. And so that is how Columbus found the Americas. He wasn't really looking for India. That's just a fable. And he also brought 5 Hebrew interpreters with him to verify it even more, because he was looking for the Hebrews. He was looking for the land of Arsareth. And so we're going to go back to the scriptures and find an interesting part with King Solomon. So this is 1 Kings 10 and 22. For the king, as in King Solomon, had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Hiram. And Hiram is the man that King Solomon hired to build the temple. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish. So it took them a year and a half to get there, and then a year and a half to get back. So 3 years. And if you remember in 2nd Esdras 13, it said it took them a year and a half to get to one place. And so that's one clue that this is the same place, which would be America, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. So we're going to look at that word peacocks. And it's H8500, 8500. And the word here, at least the pronunciation within the blue letter, is 2K. And what does that word remind you of or sound like to you? Turkey. And if you know about turkeys, you know that turkeys are indigenous to the Americas and were taken from America into other parts of the world after Columbus came. But that's a big clue as into where the northern kingdom went. And here it says it's a peacock, baboon, or ape. But that word, H8500, has a very strong resemblance to what we know of as turkeys. And so I hope that was, Lord willing, that was edifying. And with that, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.